Mama June is grieving in silence. Every day, Mama June has dealt with a lot in her life. Some of her issues were because of her own deeds, and she had to face the consequences of them. However, the last few months have been really difficult for the star. Shannon had to watch her daughter die while she was battling cancer. Amid all this, June recently opened up about how hard things have been for her. She explained how she was grieving in silence these days and made some shocking confessions. What did the celeb reveal? Is she fine? Mama June. Shannon is still grieving. Anna's death, Anna Cardwell's death, was a shock for Mama June and her entire family. They tried their best to save their beloved family member, but Anna ended up losing her cancer battle. This came after they watched Cardwell dealing with the immense pain of chemotherapy sessions, and much more. Even though it has been a few months and Shannon's entire clan is back to their normal life, they are still mourning the loss. June recently took to Instagram and shared a clip in which she talked about her suffering. She documented herself, in tears, while she was listening to a song by Bunny So and Jelly Roll. The celeb added a title to her post and stated that losing her daughter at the age of 29 wasn't right at all. Shannon revealed that she has been grieving in silence every day, and it isn't really getting better for her. However, it appears that Mama June has been taking music therapy these days. She stated that songs by the noted singers have helped her a lot. The celeb claimed that this song reminds her of how every day is not a rainbow. However, Shannon admitted that losing her daughter was one of the hardest incidents of her life, and she is still struggling to deal with it. Mama. June says Anna should have been alive. Anna Cardwell left 2 young daughters behind her. Kyle and Caitlin evidently had a hard time losing their mother, but the dynamics further deteriorated in the recent past. Apparently, Mama June and Kyle's biological father have been in a legal battle to get custody of Caitlin. Hence, the star. Kid is facing a lot at such a young age, and things aren't easy for her. Even during Shannon's recent post, she stated that Anna should have been alive. However, she stated that her daughter should have been with her 2 daughters, most importantly. This came after June is taking care of Caitlin, while Kyle has returned to her biological father. These 2 sisters occasionally meet each other and have been separated after their mother's death. Apparently, viewers were able to relate to Shannon's grief. Though there have been uncountable instances when she received backlash from her audience, they have been supporting her when it comes to Anna and her shocking demise. A fan wrote, "I'm so sorry for your loss." Another one tried to console, "She will always be with you." Keep coming back to TV season and spoilers for the latest Mama June tea. The world knows her as Mama June, the loud, bold, unforgettable matriarch from reality TV who turned chaos into ratings gold. But behind the headlines, the viral memes, and the exaggerated makeup tutorials lies a woman walking through each day, wrapped in silent pain. While the cameras may have moved on, and fans speculate over her every move, there's a different, quieter reality that June Shannon now inhabits. A private grief that clings to her like a second skin. She isn't grieving with theatrics or drawn-out declarations. She's grieving in the most human way possible, silently, steadily, and in moments when no one is watching. Despite the spotlight that once followed her every step, June is now immersed in something raw, real, and too deep for the surface noise of fame. A mother's heartbreak. Too heavy to share. June's pain is layered, complicated not just by loss, but by regret, distance, and the relentless scrutiny that reality fame brings. The cracks in her heart didn't form overnight. They were slow, creeping fractures that deepened with each family rift, each tabloid headline, and each missed milestone. While viewers fixated on her physical transformations or controversial relationships, something far more profound was unraveling within. She's not just mourning what has been lost, but what was never fully healed. Her daughter, Anna, Chickadee. Cardwell's battle with cancer wasn't just a health crisis. It was a reminder of time that could never be reclaimed. The mother-daughter bond, already strained by years of misunderstanding and media intrusion, found itself on a battlefield that no camera crew could ever prepare for. As June stood beside her daughter in those final months, the world watched through filtered lenses, missing the tremble in her hands or the weight in her eyes. Now, with Anna gone, June wakes each day to a silence louder than any reality show and drama. Her grief is a shadow, always just behind her, never quite leaving her side. Loss. Behind the lashes. To outsiders, June continues her routine. Her social media presence is active. The carefully curated images show her smiling, perhaps even laughing, donning wigs and lashes, and participating in sponsored content. But for those who look closely, the difference is stark. Her eyes, once wide and filled with the fire of defiance, have dulled. There's an ache in them that mascara can't cover. When the ring light dims and the filters vanish, June is simply a mother grappling with the impossible. The absence of a child. No one prepares a parent for this kind of grief. There's no script, no guidebook. And for someone whose life was scripted for entertainment, the rawness of unfiltered sorrow feels like unfamiliar terrain. She can't escape into a confessional or rely on producers to shape her story. The pain is hers alone, unscripted, unresolved. Family ties and tension. Even as she mourns, June's relationships with her other daughters remain strained. The pain of the past continues to ripple outward, impacting everyone in different ways. There's love, yes, but also wounds that never quite closed. The weight of guilt and the pressure to move forward have created a silence that hangs heavy between them. June is stuck between worlds, one where she desperately wants to heal her fractured family, and another where she's still learning how to live without Anna. It's a tug-of-war that plays out in quiet moments. When she sees a photo, hears a familiar laugh, or catches her reflection in a mirror, and sees the grief etched into her own face. Her remaining daughters carry their own grief, their own versions of loss. And yet, June often finds herself alone in her mourning, not because no one cares, but because her pain is too personal, too paralyzing to put into words. The battle within. Beyond her family, June's inner demons haven't disappeared. Addiction, insecurity, and trauma still lurk beneath the surface. In many ways, her grief has become another battle in a lifetime of battles. But unlike the others, this one doesn't offer a clear path to recovery. There's no rehab for heartbreak. No 12-step program for sorrow. Just time. And even that feels cruel in its slowness. At night, when the house quiets and the outside world retreats, she sits with the memories. Not the ones the cameras captured, but the intimate, quiet moments she'll never get back. Her daughter's laugh, the scent of her shampoo, the way her eyes lit up when she spoke about her children. These are the fragments June holds close, even as they pierce her heart. She wears her grief like armor, and yet it feels more like a wound, visible to no one, but constantly aching. The public pressure to bounce back being a public figure adds another layer of pressure. The world expects her to perform resilience, to package her loss into a post, to be strong, positive, inspirational. But grief isn't linear. It doesn't cater to comment sections or trending hashtags. It's messy, inconvenient, and unrelenting. Fans speculate about her appearance, her mood, her decisions, without ever truly knowing the full extent of her pain. Every post is dissected. Every absence is questioned. But few realize that the bravest thing June does each day is simply getting out of bed. Her strength isn't in the glamorous selfies or branded promos. It's in the moments when she chooses to keep living, even when every part of her aches for what's been lost. A life rewritten in shadows. In some ways, June is rewriting her life, not with fame or fortune, but with quiet acts of resilience. Lighting a candle, donating in her daughter's name, holding on to old voicemails just to hear Anna's voice again. These small rituals are how she holds on, even as the world urges her to let go. She's not seeking redemption through headlines anymore. She's not chasing the spotlight. Her world has narrowed, but it's richer in meaning. Grief has transformed her, not just as a mother, but as a woman. The pain has softened her edges, humbled her spirit, and reminded her of what truly matters. She no longer needs validation from strangers. What she longs for is peace. Not the performative kind, but the kind that lives quietly in the heart. A sense of knowing that her daughter's memory endures, even in the silence. Hope in the heartache. Despite everything, June hasn't given up. There's a quiet hope that pulses beneath the grief. A belief that one day the heaviness will lift, even if just a little. She holds on to that hope like a lifeline. Not because it erases the pain, but because it gives her a reason to keep going. She's learning to coexist with her grief rather than conquer it. Some days she carries it with grace. Other days it knocks the wind out of her. But through it all, she keeps showing up. Not for the cameras, but for herself, and for the legacy of the daughter she lost. Conclusion. Grieving in the shadows. Loving loud in silence. Mama June's journey has always been one of extremes. Highs and lows, love and scandal, triumph and loss.